Hey, I'm AJ.
I'm Jeremy, and I am this tall.
And it's Monday.
As always, thank you for joining us again for another week of the Extraordinary Times. First story today.
Whew. We're starting a little mellow, aren't we?
I'm feeling kind of mellow. It was a good weekend. What else?
It was. The story's not mellow, though. Going back onto the failed North Korean missile launch. If you don't know what we're talking about, check it out.
Ooh.
Listen to news. Anyway, just know it happened. The United States has come out and officially said, yeah, we're going to stop food shipping to North Korea now. We're just, you ruined it. You screwed it up.
All you had to do was not shoot the missile, or satellite delivery system. And your satellite delivery system exploded in midair. So congratulations, you failed twice.
Just utterly and completely. On the tails of this, Kim Jong-un, the new leader of North Korea, has actually come out and done a public speech, which his father evidently only did once in his entire lifetime, so the entire country is just like, what's going on?
Whoa. Part of the whole mystique of the great, blessed, supreme leader of the moon and the universe is, he doesn't talk to his people.
Right.
And so now he's talking to his people.
And looks like he may be doing it even more. Unfortunately, one of the first few things he said is our first, second, and third priority is to the military.
Because that's been working so well for you the last 50 years.
So the first thing you tell your people, and the first speech you ever give them, is right after you just completely blew any kind of food assistance to them, you say you're going to emphasize the military anyway.
Yeah. Tell your people while they're starving.
Screw you.
Yeah.
You fail at life, sir.
You fail. And we move on. So we talked about the guy who bought Buford, Wyoming?
Wyoming.
Buford, Wyoming last week. And, it turns out that the buyer, the $900,000 buyer,
yeah, something like that,
was a Vietnam man who wants to sell Vietnam-like goods in America. So that's why he bought the town.
We thought it was the government. Nope.
He wants his own P.O. Box number 1, Buford, Wyoming.
Sure. I think that the funniest thing about this is, the people in Vietnam saying he's taking jobs away from Vietnam.
They make everything.
Right.
Just saying. Or, knockoffs of everything. But that's not
for
racism.
The most people,
that's a statistic.
For the most, the Vietnamese are happy for him. So, anyway, President Obama.
So, we have to wonder, does he really not understand what he says when he says things?
A while back, he was asked by a reporter what he thinks about all the people that are getting down on him for taking all these vacations. And he ripped the reporter apart, saying it's tough. He doesn't really take that many vacations, all that, 15 to date. Big, lavish vacations. Anyway, then the president...
guys from the streets, just saying.
Right. Then the president went down to Colombia this past weekend as part of a Central American get-together thing that they had. I don't know what they called it. Either way...
Dictators Anonymous?
Right.
Sorry.
He was quoted as saying, "Part of my job is to scout out where I may want to bring Michelle back later for vacation."
Just in case.
Are you so out of touch that you can't even put those together and see why this would be wrong? I mean, you could... I didn't even say, let you think that, say this looks like a good place later, but don't say it. At least, at least be smart enough to try and hide your tracks.
They call it decorum in polite society. Have some decorum, sir.
Yes.
And we move on to probably the greatest president we ever had, the first one. In Britain, they had a contest for the National Army Museum to determine who the greatest military enemy of Britain that there ever was. And, you know, in second place, it was Michael Collins, an Irish leader. Third place was Napoleon Bonaparte. No, fourth place was Rommel. First place, George Washington. America. Yeah. And we move on.
All right. So over into Detroit, another awesome man. The news keeps trying to spin this as this is how bad things are, but I think this guy's doing great.
You know, things are bad in Detroit. Yeah. Not even going to lie. Right. Things are pretty bad.
This guy's doing pretty good in my book, though. Named Alan Hill, he is legally living inside an abandoned Packard auto plant. And it's not just like slumming it up either. He's got electricity. He's got internet. He's got a kitchen. He's got a welding table because, you know, that's what you have when you live in an abandoned auto plant.
It's his house. He just his house happens to be a giant steel frame building that used to be an auto plant.
So the way everybody's seeing, the way I'm seeing it is that's how you take care of things in a tough time. Yeah, it can get a little lonely and possibly a little creepy. I mean, you look at the picture and it's just like
it's a giant big hole. Like they abandoned it and it looks like it was abandoned.
Yeah.
But it's his.
Yeah.
It's his. So
living it up, getting ready for the next uptime.
Creepy. So great things going on. Actually, you want to cover this one? You know a little more about it.
I'll cover that. We'll switch on you. We'll switch this. Okay, so scientists are in the middle of designing, have a lot of the money and funding to create a simulated human brain. Completely into one computer. It's going to take about 12 years to build. And currently would take an entire nuclear power plant to devotedly power this machine. But yeah, it would be simulating an entire brain working, and they can study it and put programs in it to say, okay, you know, give it like Alzheimer's or something. This is creeping me out, mostly because I don't care if it's simulated thinking. What if it starts coming up with original thoughts? Like, you know, actual brains do.
Well, and we're this much closer to Skynet. Yay!
And they even say later in the article that, you know, this is a step towards AI. Oh boy.
And AI is a step away from Skynet. I mean Google. I mean, thanks Google.
Right.
So
Coachella.
The other reason
Coachella, but not the actual music festival. Just the place.
Just the place, Coachella. For those of you who don't know, Coachella is a music festival held in California, and it is awesome for the most part. I've seen a few performances that were taped from there, and it seems like a giant raucous party awesomeness. And this year being no exception, I actually myself got to watch the Black Keys via YouTube, this beautiful site that we have. That
Thanks, YouTube.
Thanks, YouTube and Google and State Farm, who put it on. Actually, not even us repping State Farm, but they repped Coachella. So what up? Moving on. The reason Coachella is actually even like news beyond the fact it's Coachella is that Dr. Dre was there doing what Dr. Dre does. And rapping, and he had Snoop Dogg, and they were doing their thing, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the middle of the stage, pops out Tupac, and not like
for those
a video.
Of you who don't know, Tupac's dead.
Tupac's dead-ish, maybe, possibly, probably. Well, maybe
still putting out good records.
Still putting out better records than a lot of people, but poof. Dead Tupac is in the middle of the stage, and he's all shiny and has a microphone, and he greets the crowd. What up, Coachella? and is like moving around and jumping around and rapping, and apparently Dre concocted a hologram program and they used it, and it was awesome because he had Snoop Dogg and he had Dre and he had Tupac, and they're all doing their rap thing, and then at the end of it, Tupac's like, poof. Stardust, basically. Like, yeah, that's the only way I can describe it.
Just check it out.
I don't even look at the link.
If you don't like rap, just check it out anyway. Yeah. Just for the technology stuff.
It's amazing. And my first thought, of course, was movies are going to be awesome in like 3 years. If it takes that long for it to get up there. Oh, man.
Right.
So, absolutely absurd news of the day. New York, I love you. But, really? I'm not even sure if AJ's going to be able to get through this. So, a guy walks in to the New York Central New York Bank, something like that. And he demands money like robbers do. And he is wielding a plunger. Not a sonic screwdriver. Not a sword. Not even a screwdriver. You know, a plunger. A plunger. Thusly, he was defeated.
Maybe he was planning on flushing him. I don't know.
I don't know. Flushing him out. Yeah. That's my bad joke of the day. But, yeah, he was summarily defeated, and, yeah.
Yeah, oh well.
Oh well.
Next time, think. All right, last one. Sure I can get serious about this.
I think he just wanted to be known. So we gave you lots of fun stuff. Now for hard news. Real fast, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to hit this as fast as possible. So Sweden is now trying to raise their children in a gender-neutral society. And to further this, they've added a new word to the Swedish language, hen, which is a gender-neutral version of him or her. No, bad. Just this is terrible written all over. Basically, they're trying to raise all these kids without any kind of gender bias whatsoever. And it sounds okay, you don't want to get any bias in around, but this is a natural, normal part of child upbringing. They've even gone so far on one or two schools to get rid of free play because that could learn towards gender differences. And no, if you know anything about sociology, if you know anything about psychology, free play is when kids develop the most. That's when they develop into adults. This is when they learn the most about the world around them. And I know it's Sweden, so it's not America or anything, so we don't have to worry. But still,
well, not
yet. Exactly. We need to watch this, make sure this doesn't start leaking into our society, because this will damage people. I don't care what psychologists they have. There are millions of others that say this will lead to a damaged society by the time these kids grow up.
The things that we're lacking now in society of understanding of a person. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that we have a hard enough time with kids being able to deal with their emotions as they're becoming adults. We have enough problems with them dealing with their own identity as they're becoming adults. If they don't understand the fundamental differences, physiological differences between male and female, and the fundamental mental differences, because there are mental differences between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
The way we process information, the way we look at the world is in who we are.
Yeah. It is a very genetic part of you, who you are. Just cover this one last little bit. We're not saying we are for unequal rights between men and women,
no.
But different doesn't have to mean unequal.
No,
you can be
not.
different and equal. You don't have to make everybody the same genderless thing to make things right.
So, anyways, He's AJ.
He's Jeremy.
These are extraordinary times. Subscribe if you kind of liked us. Like us if you liked it. Favorite it if you really liked us. And we will see you tomorrow. Be aware.